Good morning, student. How are you all? I hope everyone is happy. God bless you and your family. In the previous section, we saw about light. What is light? When you enter into a dark room, nothing is visible. The moment you switch on the light, everything in the room becomes visible. Light is a type of energy that help us to see all the things around us. Light can be detected by the human eyes. Second one, sources of light. Objects which are able to emit light are known as light sources. Light rays can come from different sources. There are two types of sources of light: natural sources of light, and second one, artificial sources of light. First one, natural sources of light. Sources which emit light naturally are known as natural sources of light. Second one, artificial. Apart from the natural sources, light can all be produced artificially. The different light sources that are able to produce light artificially. Next one, reflection. When we see our face in the mirror, we see the light rays from our face bouncing off the surface of the mirror. Next one, property of the light. Property of light, first one, rectilinear propagation of light. Second one, reflection. Third one, speed. Fourth one, interaction of light with matter. I welcome everyone back to my class. Today we are going to discuss about beam of light. Generally, light is not a single ray, but a bundle of rays which are called as beam of light. A light beam can be a bundle of parallel rays, convert ray, or divergent. Divergent means tending to different or develop in different directions. Now we will going to discuss about speed of light. When lightening a bulb in a dark room, light spread the whole room quickly. This is because the light travel very fast. Light travels 3 lakh km per second in air vacuum. In theory, nothing can travel faster than light. Now move on. Interaction of light with matter. Take a piece of clear glass, a paper, and a metal sheet. Shine a light from one side of each object and see if the light penetrates on the other side. Readily, we can see light enter and comes out of the other end of the clear glass, whereas the light is bit dim through a paper. Light does not pass through the metal sheet. Depending upon permeability, material can be classified into three categories. First one, transparent material. Second one, translucent material. Third one, opaque object. First one, transparent object or material. If you are able to see clearly through an object, it is allowing light to pass through it and transparent. For example, water, clear glass, etc. Second one, translucent material. There are some objects through which we can see but not very clearly. Such objects are known as translucent. For example, butter paper, ground glass, etc. Third one, opaque object. If we cannot see through an object at all, it is an opaque object. For example, wooden door, wall, etc. What is shadow? You are running around in the park on a bright sunny day, but you are not alone. It seems that everywhere you go, something is following you. When you walk slowly, it walks slowly, and when you run, it runs. But you are not being chased by the person. It is just your shadow. Shadow is the dark shape made when something black light. You must have source of light in order to have shadow. Some sources of light include the sun, a light bulb in your room, flashlight, or campfire that you sit around and roast. All kind of things are great at blocking that light and making shadow, including trees, fences, building, and you. Even the earth makes a shadow called an umbra, which can cause us a lunar eclipse when the condition are right and the moon moves through it. The moon slowly look like it is lit up at night because it reflects light from the sun. During the lunar eclipse, it look like the moon goes dark, but is really just hanging out in the earth shadow for a few minutes. Next one, parts of shadow. Vivine had always wanted one or two little dogs. On her birthday, her family went to the animal shelter to find one dog, but instead they found two. One dog was black and the other was grey. They decided to call them Umbra and Penumbra. Can you guess us why they choose these names? Let's find out together. Little kids are often afraid of their shadow because they don't know what shadow are. Let's learn a bit about shadow. First of all, a shadow requires sources of light, like a light bulb or the sun. To have a shadow, you also need something to block that light, maybe a hand or even a space object like the moon. If an object moves in front of the light, it will make shadow. If you look at the picture of the baby and the ball, you will notice that both of them leave very dark shadow. The ball is there are no help. You remember that the dark part of the shadow is called umbra. See how umbra and ball sound alike. Also many ball are blocked, so that similarity in word can help you remember that the umbra it's a black. Not all shadow are totally pitch black, though some lighter area in a shadow are called penumbras. Now move on. Property of shadow. All objects do not form shadow. Shadow will be formed in the opposite side of the light source. The shadow will be always dark, whatever may be the color of the light rays. Next one, eclipses. The earth along with the other planet revolves around the sun in its orbit. In turn, the moon revolves around the earth in the moon's orbit. There comes a time when three heavenly bodies get aligned in the same straight line. This is when an eclipse occurs. It is defined as astronomical phenomenon that occurs when one spatial object comes within the shadow of another object. This is abstract, the observe from seeing one of them in space. On earth we witness two types of eclipse, solar and lunar. Now we will going to discuss about solar eclipse, also known as the eclipse of the sun. It occurs when the moon comes between the sun and the earth. As a result, the moon blocks the light of the sun from reaching the earth's surface and cast a shadow on it. This occurs on a new moon phase. We can observe up to 5 solar eclipses per year. Depending on the distance of the moon from the earth during the event, different types of solar concealment can be observed. Then we categorize partial. When the moon does not align completely with the sun, and so only a portion of the sunlight is blocked from reaching the earth. Annular. When the moon covers the sun, but the sun can be seen around the edge of the moon, giving on impressing of the sun. It's a bright ring surrounding the dark disk of the moon. Next one, total. When a sun is completely covered by the moon, the sky becomes so dark that is appear to be night. Only a small area on the earth can be witnessed. Second one, lunar. Lunar, also known as eclipse of the moon, it occurs when the earth comes in between the sun and the moon. As a result, the earth blocks the light of the sun from reaching the moon's surface and casts its shadow on the moon. It occurs on full moon day. We can observe up to 3 lunar eclipses per year, depending on how the sun, the moon and earth line up. Lunar eclipse too can be categorized partial when only a part of the moon moves into the shadow of the earth. Total. When the earth passes directly in front of the moon and casts its shadow on the full moon. It is advised that one should not look at the sun directly during the solar eclipse as it can permanently damage the eyes. However, it's safe to watch the lunar eclipse with the naked eye. Now move on. Plane mirror and reflection. A polished or smooth surface like a glass which forms image by reflection is known as mirror. Plane mirror, it's a mirror. With a flat reflective surface, a plane mirror makes an image of object in front of it. The image is upright. The image and object are the same size. The image is a visual. The image lateral inverted. The boy left hand. Its image, it's a right hand. We can determine the position of an object image by drawing light rays. Now move on. Real and virtual image. We have seen image begin formed in a pinhole camera and a mirror. Can we see what is different in both of these images? Firstly, the image of the pinhole camera was formed on the screen, while the image made by the mirror it's not obtained on a screen. The image that are obtained on screen are called a real image, and that which cannot be obtained on a screen, virtual image. Also notice that the image on pinhole camera was upside down while the mirror image was upright. Color of sunlight. Light is a form of energy in the form of wave that is stimulate the retina of our eyes. Visible light, it's a spectrum of a number of waves with a different wavelength range from 400 nanometers to 700 nanometer. Each wave has definite wavelength represent a particular color. The band of visible light is V violet, I indigo, B for blue, G for green, Y for yellow, R for orange, O for orange, or for red. Violet color has shorter wavelength and red color has longer wavelength. In light ray of the particular wavelength strikes the retina of our eyes, our brain perceive that specific color. When all color of visible light strike the retina of our eyes, at the time our brain receive white. This show white it's not a color at all, but it's the combination of all the color of the visible spectrum. If all the wavelength colors of visible light spectrum give appearance of white, similarly the observe of all there are wavelength of visible light will lead appearance of black. Prism. Prism is an object made of transparent material like glass or plastic that has a least two flat surface that form an acute angle less than 90 degree Celsius. Okay, so the next one, Newton disk. Newton suggested a process of mixing different color to make white color by setting an arrangement as shown figure below. Newton disk it's a cardboard disk with 7 equal color: red, yellow, orange, green, blue, indigo and violet. When the disk turned quickly, the retina receives the sensation of the spectrum simultaneously and the disk appeared white. Using the disk, one can explain that white is a combination of. We know that white shirt will reflect white light, and we have seen that a white light consists of different colors. When we look at the white shirt through the yellow gelatin paper, we see it as yellow in color. From this, we can say that the yellow gelatin paper did not allow any other color except yellow to pass through. Similarly, we conclude that red gelatin paper allow only red light and blue gelatin paper allow only in the blue light. Now move on. Synthesis of colors. Synthesis of color, it's a method of creating color by mixing various proportion of 2 or 3 distinct color of light. This color are red, green and blue called as primary colors. Equal proportion of 2 primary color create secondary color. Magenta, cyan and yellow are called secondary colors. Equal proportion of the 3 primary color create white. Today's science assignment, answer the following, learn all the question answers. Thank you.